got this via email, and Lachlan, who gave me this feedback, he's consented to me sharing what he wrote in this email. And it came at a time when I was really struggling. As I mentioned before, things like stress and anxiety with our move, and I was right in the thick of it, and I was really struggling. And this just lit me up for a whole week. I was bouncing around. In fact, every time I open up and I see Lachlan's email, I've got it saved in my computer, I just get this warm, fuzzy feeling that I am doing something good and I need to keep going. And I will keep going. I wasn't thinking about stopping. Sometimes life can get the better of us. Even though I'm a therapist, I do still struggle with my mental health, and that's really important. I do have good days and I do have bad days. So Lachlan's email came at the perfect time because I needed to pick me up. And particularly around the social media content that I was doing and the podcast, I was wondering where the future directions will go. But this made me feel like I'm on the right track. So I'm going to share it with you. It is a little bit longer email, but I wanted to highlight it in its fullest, or most of its fullest, because I think it can resonate with so many of you out there as well. So it goes, "Hi, Simon. I'm currently listening to your latest episode, 115, and felt compelled to send you a message. I've gone back through your catalogue of episodes and I love your style. I'm a 44-year-old father of 2 in Melbourne, happily married, builder, kids are in high school. Thank you for creating this podcast. I discovered it from your interview with Danny Carr from How I Quit Alcohol. I'm a big fan of Danny and Ash's work, and the How I Quit Alcohol podcast isn't always for me. It can actually feel very female focused. But some episodes have really struck a chord with me, and yours was a ripper. I've saved your episode 96 on why you were going alcohol free for 2000. It really resonates with me. I was struggling with a bit of boredom last weekend and having a mild craving for the escape of alcohol. I listened to this episode again whilst doing a bit of housework and felt instantly calmer. Thank you. I've been alcohol free all this year. For the past 5 years, I've had periods of abstinence ranging from 1 to 10 weeks at a time. I always feel an epiphany after a few days of quitting, but after a few weeks, everything settles and it can be a risky time for me. If I allow myself to start, it quickly progresses to wanting to have quite a few drinks every night. I don't have social problems from drinking, but I do seek that feeling of oblivion which wrecks my sleep, then my mood, then I become an irritable and impatient parent. My goal is to go alcohol-free for 2024 and see what happens after that. I would say that for every negative alcohol-free moment, such as being offered a beer after work and thus feeling like I'm snubbing someone, there are 20 more positive moments in return. This email serves 2 purposes. 1, to say thanks and to encourage you to keep up the good work. And 2, a bit of mini journaling for myself. So don't feel obliged to reply. Just know that I'm a grateful listener. I've rated it 5 stars. If I have friends that need a boost or have a vulnerable conversation with me, I will suggest they listen too. I hope you get out the back this year, beyond the white water, and ride one into shore. Best wishes, Lachlan." Just reading this now, like I'm getting a bit emotional. Like it fills me with so much joy. And he mentioned this one part, which I've never really thought of myself, but I think it reflects back to my recent craving for alcohol. I was sitting on the couch in this resort that we're living in, which is really fun, by the way. Like, it's not a bad place where I'm living, but it's not home. Like, we're in a bit of a hiatus from where home is. And I remembered this email, and that was one of the things that stopped me even thinking more about that craving. And so even though my episode supported Lachlan to overcome his craving, I remembered his feedback, and that helped me to overcome my craving as well. And as I said before, it also picked me up in a period of time where I've been super stressed and anxious, not sure about myself in terms of the podcast or content. Where do I go with it? And Lachlan's email just made me feel like, yes, I'm on the right track. And it's interesting, I've spoken about a lot of content over the last 2 years on the podcast, but the alcohol story is one that is really resonating with other people. And it's one that I'm getting a lot more feedback on. So I'm interested to hear from you, more of you out there. How is alcohol impacting your life? What can we share about alcohol on the podcast that can help you continue your journey of sobriety, or maybe step into sobriety as well? It's really important that we think about these things when we engage with podcasts or self-help books or therapy. What's the impact on our lives when we're doing the same old thing? And what can we do better or 1% different today, that can break us out of that cycle that we're in to live a better life, a more mindful life, a happier and healthier life?